Hey people, I'm just gonna show a tutorial here for Cinema 4D. No. I have not really found one that shows you exactly how to render. If you look here at the screen, you'll notice with the upper right hand corner I have a light just off screen. Now that light causes some gradients. Instead of just being one continuous gradient from the light down to black, it does it over and over and over again. Now, I've been told it's probably because there wasn't enough, the resolution wasn't high enough, or just the lighting scheme was wrong. I'm not really sure. The point is, it didn't turn out right. And I went on to the Cinema 4D Cafe and asked around, and I actually did get help with this. So I thought I'd do a video of this. So I'm going to play this out, and you can look and see exactly what I mean. See this light here, it doesn't change. You can also see slightly on the little dude that his head also, you can't really tell right here, but when he starts moving around like right here, you can tell it's also circular. It has those lighting rings around it, and I figured out a way to get rid of it. Now, you can't really tell when you're doing this if it will happen or not, because if you render it as a photo, let's just open this. When you open this, now I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, when you render it as a photo, you're not really going to be able to tell what's exactly happening, because it renders, fine, like it would a picture. It doesn't have to do animation. Now, when you render it as a video, it will compress it, and compression can sometimes cause a loss of data. Now, I will show you a way around this. But you see the light, the gradient is perfect. He doesn't have any of those lighting rings around him. So, let's just open up a new project here. I don't want to open, I want a new one. And for right now, we're just gonna do a plane and maybe a sphere, and yeah, let's just do this for right now. Alright, so get your animation, whatever you want to do, ready. It doesn't really matter what. And let's get some materials up on here. Let's make this a black with a slight reflection, just to give it a little bit of a pop. And now as for the torus, maybe let's do a little bit of illuminance. We can make a little bit of red, maybe a darker, not so brighter red. Let's plop that up on there. And now for the plane, let's just run it first and see how it looks before we add anything. See, there's not much of anything going on here. There's nothing. So let's go ahead and go to our render, edit render settings. Now what we need to do is go to effect and go to global illumination. Now your gamma, when it's set as 1, a lot of your lighting isn't going to show up. Let's say you have illuminance and for some odd reason or another it's not showing up on the ground. Well, when you turn up your gamma, this makes it more and more visible. I prefer between 1.5 and 2. And we can exit that. And now you can see right here we have a faint little glow on the floor, but that sphere isn't really popping out. So one thing we're gonna have to do is I'm just gonna add a light here just so it's easier to see, and I'm gonna bring this back some. Now all this you can do in Cinema 4D R12. I just updated to R13, so you can still do all this that I'm showing you how. There's no difference. And you see now with the light, we don't have that much, not really that much of a difference. But we just want it, for right now, we just want it to glow. Maybe we can turn up the reflection on this some more. I'm still not good at picking out material, so if you have it all done, just wait a little second, because this is going to bug me now. Yeah, it's not that. Hey, I'll probably just have to pull open another project and let you all look. Hi. See, it still doesn't turn out quite right. So, I'm just going to open up an older project. Okay, right here, let's render this out, and you can see that you have all the blue lights, you have your red lights, and you have your green. Now, the blue kind of like does everything. I'm not too happy about that whatsoever. I'm probably going to have to turn down the luminance on the blue. The green's fine, the red's a bit dull, but you can see all this is blue. So, I'm going to turn down the brightness on these some. Brightness on red should be fine. So let's render this out again. It's still a bit too blue for my tastes, and I don't quite like that, so we're probably going to have to turn this down again. And let's do render region. Now this I think is only available in R13. It's still too blue for my taste, really. But anyway, you get the point. Anyway, so when you render something normally, this won't happen. You see how the little yellow boxes are going around rendering region by region. That usually will not happen if you don't change the render settings. Now, I wonder how people have done this for quite a while, and I only have just recently figured out, because it actually makes the render a lot better. And like I showed you earlier, you want to go to your render settings. You want to go to global illumination, turn up your gamma to 2. Once you do that, if I can find it, go to your effects, and I think the one you want is, if I can find it, no, right here, it's anti-aliasing. You want to go to that, turn it to best, minimum level, you want to keep it 1 to 1, maximum level, to me, I do 8 times 8, 8 by 8, a lot of people do 2 by 2, I've done 4 by 4 sometimes. So if you do it, I suggest, you know, if you have a really bad PC, 2 by 2. If it's decentable, 4 by 4. If you got a damn good PC, you know, 4 by 4 works pretty good. And let's just turn this off. No. It's normally set for geometry, so I'm just going to go through and look and see how it renders out. And now, of course, you're not really going to be able to tell that much. So let's make a preview, and let's do manual. We'll do, I guess, from frame 130 to 150. Okay. Options. don't worry about the options. That was just to change it back to how it was. So we're going to go through and let this render. And I'm not sure how long this will take. Hopefully not too long. It's not that many frames. So I'll guess we'll wait until it's done. Alright, it's done rendering, as you can see, and you see what a huge difference that made. The render is absolutely horrible. These lines are interfering. It diminishes the quality. The objects are fine, but with the lighting, the anti-aliasing and the gamma all, mess with the lighting. Now, if the lighting's bad, it's not going to work too well. You can see right here I have a spotlight right behind the camera, which you can see. It makes it so much more noticeable. So let's go out of here, and we're going to go back and fix this. Go to your render, your edit render settings, change it to best, and then your max level to either 4x4 or 8x8. It doesn't really matter. And make sure your global illumination is between 1.5, 1.8. It really is up to you what you want to set it as. The lower it is, the less of the illumination from the orbs you're going to have, or from the object that you're working with. So I'm just going to put it as 1.4 for right now. And I'm going to render this. Now, see, I had it lower so the blue glow isn't that noticeable. When I had it up at 2, the blue was just, it was everywhere. Now that I turn it down, it's not so much there. Now, of course, the red also gets turned down. I'm not sure why the red doesn't have that much of a glow. That's a little bit weird, but I do not want it that bad either. I want it glowing red. Nah, damn it. Now let's try this. See, there we go. Now the red has a little bit more oomph to it. The blue is still held back within itself. The green is still noticeable. And you get a little pink there, which I think is, I'm not a fan of pink, but sometimes it does make things look pretty nice. Like right here, you get some right in through here. So you can see what a big difference that makes. Another thing you may want to try is if you do an animation, what you want to do is when you get this right here, do AVI, go to options, turn your compressor down to full frames uncompressed, because like I said earlier, sometimes compression can cause the loss of data. So turn it to uncompressed and just hit OK, render it out like normal, and it should be good. Now when you render it out, let's look in through here. Let's go to my channel. And we'll look at this right here. And it takes a while to load because it is at 27p. So you still have them rings a little bit. Like right here, you can see there's still a little bit there. Now, if you turn up your anti-aliasing, they may go away, like a 16 by 16. But in all terms, this is nowhere near as bad as what our render was. We don't need that. I don't need that either. See, our render was completely horrible. But in the other shot, we are literally, full screen, and we're also slightly zoomed in on the ball. So we're a lot closer at the ground. So, in recap, when you're rendering an animation and you're new, and you don't know the render settings that well, what you want to do is turn your anti-aliasing from geometry to best, your max level to whatever you feel like. It shouldn't really matter. I think 16 by 16 is going to be the best. That's probably what I use. And then make sure you add global illumination from your effects. It'll be right into here. Just hit your effects and turn the gamma between 1.5 and 2. You can do a little bit less if the object that you want to glow is a bit too much. And that's pretty much all you have to do. And make sure when you're making a preview of your animation, you select AVI format, you go to options, and you make sure that your compressor is full frames uncompressed. It is quite worth it. So, thanks for watching. If you have any questions whatsoever, just leave a comment. I will try my best to help you. Subscriptions are happy and well appreciated, and thanks for watching.